So I was mowing and I'm cruising along, and all of a sudden I can't turn. I am heading right into the chickens. Good afternoon. I'm Mark. Welcome back to the farm. Hope you guys are doing good. Here's the thing that's going on. My steers, I'm rotating them around. I'm putting them in paddock after paddock after paddock, just building little pastures for them out of the polytape. And they eat, and they're usually there for 2 days. So there's the steers. They're out there grazing away and doing their best to eat everything we put in front of them. But this time of year, they can't. It's a lot. So it's weird. In the wintertime, right, there's not a lot of precip, temperatures, and the conditions are such that the grass goes dormant. So there's not a lot for them to graze on. And so I end up feeding hay off of the big round bales. This time of year, though, stuff grows so fast and the rain falls so much that it gets long, it gets thick, but the steers don't eat it all in the time that I have them in a paddock area. Excuse me, a pasture area. I could make the pasture smaller, but it's just more pastures, and they continue to grow like crazy. So it creates a condition where as I rotate them through, if I just leave it, it's going to get thicker and longer, and then other stuff starts to grow in there. And that's when you get weeds and things the cows don't like. If I had more steers, they would eat more of the grass and trample down the stuff that they don't like. All right? But I don't. And so this is what I got to work with. So this last time out, I said, okay, I'm going to cut this. Well, I cut it. I don't have a baler. So I've got all this dried grass now sitting on top. So what do? Instead of raking it, and that's a lot of raking, and I don't have a rake for the tractor either, I just go over it and over it and over it with the mower until it chops down into very fine bits, falls down, and then just composts into the soil, which is good for the soil. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with, and it's a lot to cut. I'm using a riding mower instead of using my rotary cutter because I'm trying to really get it cut fine, and I also don't want to tear it up with my tractor driving over it because we've had a lot of rain, and a lot of rain means soft ground. I worked really hard to create these pastures and get stuff growing in the first place, and I just don't want to chew it up. But I ran into a little issue out there with my mower the other day because this is a lot of grass to chew up. And I ran into a little bit of an issue. Scarlett, why? Why are you way out there? Why? Now I got Ginger and we got Scarlett. Scarlett's one of the Rhode Island Reds. She's one of the new girls, and she didn't even care if you put food in there for her. She's out. She goes, I got some walking around to do. Troublesome hens. You can see the grass really likes to pack up on the deck, so I clean it off regularly. But that's not what the problem is. The problem is this came off there. And that's supposed to be right there. If I follow it back up and I move it like this, uh-oh. So I was mowing and I'm cruising along, and all of a sudden I can't turn. I am heading right into the chickens with my mower. It was a little bit funny. I was very confused because turning the wheel did nothing. So then I realized that this was a problem down here and this had broken off. Now it's got a lot of years on it and a lot of miles and hours on the tractor. So these things happen. So I had to go out, and fortunately, Deere had a replacement part, and I bought the whole arm. It's the steering linkage. I bought the whole arm and the end units. They sell some of the end units. Let me show you what those are. So this is here's the arm, and then these units on the end can be removed. And they sell just those caps, these pieces here. I thought about buying that. They were really inexpensive. And then I started thinking, what if the threads don't line up right? So I bought the whole unit assembled from John Deere. And so I just got to remove the old one, put this one in, and then I'll be back in business as far as cutting back on the pastures. Last time the steers were in here, I cut all this and down and back. And it's just come back crazy. So much rain. It's a good problem to have, but I got to get the mower working before I can deal with it. So just for reference, here's the arm right there. This is what I got to do. So I got to remove this, drop it out. I can put the new one on. Yeah, see, all kinds of stuff just dropping out there. And then at the other end of it is right here. So I'll get up in there, I'll remove the nut up in there, drop this off, and then just replace it right there. Okay, so I just manually grabbed the tire and I turned it out like that to move this out from underneath the frame. That way I can drop my ratchet on top there. Oh, tough to do that through the lens. All right, and I already broke it loose. It wasn't that bad, in fact, so I can just take that off there that way. And then I got to figure out what to do up inside. There it is. So that's off there. Well, that was unintentional. All right, well, that part's off anyway. All right, no easy roll here. I'm gonna have to take the deck off. All right, so what I'm looking at is right here. So I've got that on there, and that's, you can see that this, when you turn the wheel, this moves, and that pulls and pushes on the steering linkage skid or rod, and that comes forward to this and pins on right there on that tab sticking out, and then when you move that, it turns the wheel. And then this piece that goes all the way across here connects the wheels so that they move in unison when you turn. And I'm having a heck of a time getting a grip on that, so. That could have gone better. So based on the one I already removed, I determined that if I do this, it's going to fit in here in one of my long sockets, deep sockets, and I'm just going to use this and see if I can't break that loose. Hopefully I don't break my ratchet in the process, but we'll see. Boom. Got it. Sorry about that. I love that that worked, because those of you who've tried something like that before and had it not work know how badly that can go. So game on. Now we'll just get the new one put in and put it back together. What could that take? 2 minutes probably? All right, before installing, while I had the deck off, I cleaned everything out, got all the grass out from the pulleys and everything, and then got underneath and sharpened all the blades. All right, deck's back on, everything's reset, and we'll just take it for a quick cruise, make sure it's working, and then I got to do some evening chores. Good, runs well. Again, hat, old hat, because I'm under stuff working. That's no offense to the new hat. This is, yeah, it's okay. He's still in good standings. I'm not worried about it. Anyway, runs good, turns good. So now I'm just gonna bring the cows a little evening snack and probably have some dinner myself, and then back out to close up the girls. And that'll be the last item of the night, I think. Just kind of ran out of day here. Are you guys waiting for me? Any chance of that? No? Okay.